Have you seen Captain Steve's latest video?
Well, howdy diddly dandy there. Charms does I, Captain of the Steves.
He's sharing some thoughtful points on Light No Fire. And he mentioned our recent livestream discussion. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is in the description. It's definitely worth checking out. Captain Steve thinks differently than I do on several aspects, and watching his video made me also think again. Did he change my mind? Did he change yours? GoodGuysFree here, so let's find out. First, a big thank you to Captain Steve for joining that Colliding Planets livestream the other day.
Oh, yeah,
Hi, Captain
good to
Steve.
see you, buddy.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Oh my god, is that the Steve?
It was great exploring those unusual worlds with you, Granny, Professor Cynical, Zenobia, and the group. I'm sorry if you were watching the live when I hit that screaming chorus point that elevated the volume to insane levels. I hit the mute button and exited to main menu as quickly as possible. And we did touch on Light No Fire during the stream, discussing multiplayer concerns from your comments. Captain Steve, I appreciate you referencing our conversation in your video. It really seems like the community is connecting on this, building on each other's thoughts. So Captain Steve is analyzing the trailer footage, and he's absolutely right on several fronts. That all footage captured in multiplayer mode, it could indeed be scripted, similar to those early NMS trailers with synchronized ships that ended up as NPC wingmen. And the landscapes appearing barren in places, yes, that raises questions about the size of this planet. If it's Earth-sized but feels sparse, like we're just transitioning biome to biome on mounts, it might echo how Starfield felt, like you're spending way too much time just walking from place to place when it just launched. Planets just felt empty. What do you think? Will Light No Fire also be copy-pasted points of interest, very sparsely spread, or will there be some element of mystery, actual exploration and discovery? Captain Steve raises an important point. Light No Fire might end up with more of a sandbox feel than a structured fantasy RPG, especially since Hello Games is using their own engine. As he compared to Bethesda's shift from Skyrim to Starfield, similar issues persist because the engine carries them forward. After watching his video, I re-evaluated, and now I think it's likely we'll see lots of similar bugs and issues, although they might not manifest in the exact same ways. I'm thinking that the build system might be quite similar, might even have glitching. What do you think? In the livestream, I explained why building a multiplayer game from the ground up can succeed better than NMS, where it was added later, leading to those issues like disconnects from groups or players building overlapping bases. This is where I'm hoping Hello Games takes a different approach to NoMansSky. However, Captain Steve raises a valid concern, that the core is the engine, and maybe it's not that easy to change. He also talked about Hello Games' in-house servers versus moving to Azure later. Maybe he's right, and as the game grows older, it could be shifted to Azure and things might deteriorate. But on the flip side, it means that either way, the first couple of years should be really good for multiplayer, right? What are your thoughts on this? Now, what if they incorporate structured guilds or factions as he suggested for major fantasy titles? This could introduce role-playing features where you align with a rabbit guild or a badger clan, with quests that develop through updates rather than repetitive ones like the NMS Weekend Nexus missions. Let's think about this for a minute. On the sandbox versus RPG aspect, yes, NMS is largely a sandbox after the main story, with procedural tasks that can feel routine unless you're playing with friends. Captain Steve makes a good observation. If Light No Fire draws from the same player base, sandbox lovers might find it different if it's very RPG heavy, whereas RPG lovers already find NMS boring because there's no obvious progression after the main storyline. Tuning the game to give a wider audience enough of what they're looking for may be tricky. Still, let's try to imagine what it could be. Some obvious specializations that Light No Fire suggests are a builder, a scout, a hunter, a fighter, a healer, a wizard, a mariner, and who knows what else. For a builder profession, maybe you level up by constructing increasingly complex structures, earning rewards like rare blueprints, bonuses in material efficiency, and maybe even the ability to offer your services to other players for some in-game currency, especially for structures that can only be built by higher-level builders. As a hunter, tracking and taming creatures could grant you unique mounts or pets that evolve, with perks like enhanced combat stats or rare pelts for crafting. Maybe specialization in specific types of animal increases your chances to catch and tame that type. Scouts might explore uncharted biomes, unlocking map expansions or teleportation runes as rewards, revealing hidden lore or treasures with higher chances to discover traps and hidden treasures. By the way, Hello Games, I join Captain Steve in calling upon you to fix the capes in No Man's Sky multiplayer, please! So overall, his concerns are valid. Barren biomes, limited rewards, multiplayer hurdles. I agree it could resemble NMS too closely. But I'm holding out for more structured fantasy elements with guilds, quests, and integrated multiplayer. What are your thoughts? Share in the comments. Is Light No Fire just NMS with a new skin? Do you think it can really be very different? And thanks to Captain Steve, these discussions are valuable. If this made you stop and think for a second, hit like and consider subscribing. Join my Discord for exploration and tips when the game comes out. The link is in the description. Good Guys Free here, and I'll see you again soon.